Hi everyone, it's Roger here from What's on DisneyPlus.com. A quick news update for you guys on a brand new Far Cry series coming soon to Hulu and Disney Plus. But before we go any further, make sure you do hit that subscribe button to keep up with the latest Disney Plus news. So we've seen lots of video game adaptations into series and films over the last few years, and there's been some really successful ones. Things like The Last of Us, we've also seen Sonic and also Mario, and just kind of this sort of feeling that sort of the games are actually maybe a good source of inspiration. Now, as a gamer, I've been playing games for many years. I definitely love video games with the idea that there's a lot of story there and a lot of untapped potential. And it looks like Disney agrees, because FX has just made a brand new deal to bring Far Cry to our screens as a brand new series. So this brand new series is going to be created by Rob Mack, also known as Rob McElhenney, you might know from Welcome to Wrexham. It's also going to be created by Noah Hawley, who is behind Alien Earth, Fargo. So he's been working with FX for a while. So this brand new series will be coming to Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus in the United States and on Disney Plus around the world at some point in the future. No word yet on when it's going to start production. Rob Mack is going to be starring in it. He did apparently recently rename himself to make it a little bit easier. I think people couldn't say Rob McElhenney. So yeah, making that a little bit easier for him. He's obviously starred in a number of different FX projects as well, including It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia and Welcome to Wrexham. The interesting thing with this series as well is it's going to be like an anthology series. So it's a little bit like American Horror Story. And this, I think, is a good thing in terms of what works with Far Cry, because Far Cry, the video game series, is very much like that, with each game having its own separate story, not having interconnected characters. So in some way that leaves it wide open that if one series does well, then they can start another one and they can move the stories around and do something a little bit different, which I think is probably a good thing moving forward. Now, the Far Cry games generally are always a little bit weird in terms of their storyline, and they're not all like interconnected. The general thing usually is someone's kind of having to basically survive in an environment which is, they basically involves this first-person shooter, so you have to do lots of shooting. So we've seen obviously with like Fallout and Last of Us, series, this does work, and I think generally video games do work a little bit better when moving over to actual TV shows, because they're a lot longer. I think that's always been the problem with movies, is you're trying to condense like a 40, 60, 80 hour game down into a 2 hour movie. It just doesn't work. So a series gives them a little bit more scope, and in some ways it kind of gives them much more variety in areas they can move around in. Now, I'm going to be honest, I've never played Far Cry. I think I maybe have done like a demo of it here and there, but it's a kind of series I've not really jumped too much into. I have now decided that, you know what, I think I might have to kind of give it the new one, the most recent one, I think Far Cry 6, a go. I think it's on PlayStation Plus, so it's not going to cost me anything. But now I'm like, okay, I want to kind of jump in on this, see what's going on here. I do like my first-person shooter games. Very much into Destiny. Looking forward to the new Star Wars pack that's coming out in December. But nevertheless, this brand new series I think is going to be a lot of fun. But again, we don't really know too much more about it, especially the creators like Noah. He doesn't tend to give too much away until the series starts coming out. But he has got a great history working with FX, obviously Alien Earth, Fargo. There's some great shows there. Also the Marvel series Legion. Nick Grad, who is the president of FX Entertainment, said in a statement regarding the new show, FX has a magnificent partnership with Rob Mack and Noah Hawley for a combined 6 series and 32 seasons of television, and we couldn't be more excited than we are for teaming up with them for Far Cry. I have no doubt that they will tell the story in a way that is original, gripping, and wildly entertaining. And we also want to thank our partners at Ubisoft for entrusting us with this beloved property. Rob Mack added, getting to work alongside Noah Hawley is a dream realised. Ubisoft has been remarkably generous, entrusting us with one of the most iconic video game world ever created. And through it all, my FX families continue to lift me up with their constant belief and support. Noah Hawley also said, what I love about the Far Cry game franchise is that it's an anthology. Each game is a variation of a theme, the same way each season of Fargo is a variation of a theme. To create a big action show that can change from year to year while always exploring the nature of humanity through a complex and chaotic lens is a dream come true. I'm excited to partner with Rob and bring our shared, irrelevant, ambitious sensibility to the screen. As I said, I think it makes sense for Disney to kind of lean in, to kind of go out and try and find some video game franchises that they could maybe utilize. And I think Far Cry is an interesting one, and I think it fits well with Noah Hawley's kind of creative vision of what he does. I think the anthology series will probably give us something interesting, and they've got a little bit of freedom there. They're not completely locked in on a story that we're going to know. So it's kind of more of a kind of based on, rather than, I think, like like The Last of Us, which is almost like a retelling of the story from the game. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do with this one. I hope to see a little bit more of this in the future. But let me know, do you think the Far Cry game is perfect for a series for FX? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that in the comments below. Go check us out over at whatsondisneyplus.com. Like, follow and subscribe, and I shall see you guys soon. Laters.